Well, Ian Black is a visiting senior fellow at the Middle East Center at the London School of Economics. He joins us now live from London. Hi, Ian. Thanks for joining us again. You know, last time we spoke, you weren't entirely convinced that based on what leaked evidence we'd heard, Mohammed bin Salman was actually responsible for Khashoggi's death. Is that still your opinion?
Well, I think that we have a clearer picture now than we did then. I mean, part of this story is that it's come out in dribs and drabs, in leaks in particular, from the Turkish side. And we've seen different versions, of course, of the story coming out from Washington too. But I think that the evidence has accumulated over recent weeks, leaving very little doubt. I mean, you know, I'm not going to try to compete with the Central Intelligence Agency, but it is their assessment is that this couldn't have happened without the knowledge of bin Salman. I'm not going to argue with that. The Saudi denial remains, and at the end of the day, there isn't a smoking gun. But I think that what is clear is that the damage done to the reputation of Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi Crown Prince, is very, very serious indeed, and arguably irreparable. It remains the case that we don't know in detail what happened, and the calls for a transparent and credible investigation that we've heard from the beginning have not been met. This is in the hands of the Saudi system itself. It's cleaning up its own mess, and clearly the credibility of that is going to be open to doubt.
Okay.
But I think that it is fair to say that most people think that, yes, he was involved or responsible in a significant way.
Right. So no smoking gun, but maybe that smoking saw, as some U.S. lawmakers believe and have said. But let me ask you this. I mean, given where we're at now, how do you think Khashoggi's death has changed geopolitical dynamics in the most dramatic ways?
Well, the geopolitical dynamics, let's leave to one side for the moment. I think that there's no doubt whatsoever that the damage to the image, the carefully cultivated image of Mohammed bin Salman, the modernizing, reformist, 33-year-old Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, has suffered enormous damage. Now, we live in strange times, do we not? We don't know what's going to happen until the early morning or the late night tweet from the man in the Oval Office. We live in unpredictable and volatile times. The fact is that we've seen American political opinion turning sharply against Mohammed bin Salman, but we've seen him being defended by the president himself. The big picture has not changed yet, but
do you
there's
really
no
believe
doubt
that, though? I mean, because so many people have said that because of Khashoggi's death, there has been a change in Saudi policy in Yemen, for example, even a softening from Saudi toward Qatar. You don't see those connections?
Well, I think that we've seen some responses from the Saudi side, but at the end of the day, the Saudi side has defended Mohammed bin Salman without any hesitation whatsoever. It's actually been, if you listen to, I think you ran a clip of it just before, of Adel Jubeir, the Saudi foreign minister, insisting that nobody had the right to even question the Saudi position. So I think that they're very much on the defensive, but I don't see that there's any lessening of loyalty to the heir to the throne. What's happening in the Yemen peace talks perhaps is a reflection of that. I don't know that we've seen any significant change on the Qatari front. If you follow these things, you see perhaps a rowing back on another important part of the bin Salman story, which is the positive messages that he's been given to Israel. That there he seems to have been overruled unusually by his father, the king. So I think the Saudis are defensive, but I don't see any significant change in their overall policy at a time when the damage to the reputation of bin Salman and the idea that Saudi Arabia is a strategic ally of the United States has certainly been damaged.
Okay.
But I think we're going to have to see this play out over a longer time.
Okay. Ian Black, we will have to leave it there. Thanks, as always, for joining us live from London.